On a lonely bench near the park sat a girl, shoulders shaking, her face buried in her hands. Her quiet sobs blended with the whisper of dripping branches above. She had run away from home after another fight, one of those arguments that leaves you feeling small and worthless. She didn't even know where she was going. She just wanted to disappear, to stop feeling so alone. A faint sound made her look up, the soft patter of paws on wet pavement. Out of the darkness came a thin, scruffy cat. His fur was matted and his tail crooked, but his eyes, bright and golden, held something strangely human. He stopped a few steps away, studying her, then cautiously climbed onto the bench. The girl tried to wave him away through her tears. "Go. You'll get wet. I have nothing for you." But the cat didn't move. Instead, he stretched out his front paws, stood up on his hind legs for a moment, and gently leaned against her chest. His rough fur brushed against her cheek. Startled, she froze and then felt the warmth of him, the steady vibration of his purr. He began rubbing his head against her face, wiping away her tears with his damp fur. Something inside her broke. She wrapped her arms around the little creature and held him close. He didn't resist. He just stayed there, as if he knew exactly what she needed, no words, no explanations, just presence. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. The world around them faded, leaving only the sound of purring and quiet breathing. When the girl finally stood up, she felt different, lighter, calmer. The cat jumped down and began to follow her, his paws silent against the wet ground. She smiled weakly. "You're coming with me, huh?" He meowed softly, as if answering, and she bent down to pick him up. When they reached her house, she hesitated before opening the door. Inside, her mother was sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying. The moment their eyes met, neither spoke, the silence said everything. The cat wriggled in her arms, then jumped down and trotted straight to the mother, rubbing his head against her leg. She reached down to stroke him, and for the first time in days, both women smiled. No one ever knew where the cat came from. He never wore a collar, and no one in the neighborhood claimed him. But from that night on, he never left their home, as if his mission had been completed, to remind two lonely souls that love can return in the most unexpected form, even wrapped in wet fur and quiet purrs.